All right, everybody, and welcome to the Swiss Army Nerds Sports Center. This is your co-host, John Sickrod, and my other co-host,
Steven Gagron.
And we are here to deliver that sweet, juicy sports juice. I said juice twice.
You did, but that's okay.
It's twice the amount of juice.
You're going to start wearing the helmet.
That's right. That's right. I'll wear a helmet. And I will wear the helmet that no one can speak of. So we're here. We weren't here last week. We had a kind of a rough recovery from Mania.
But it was worth it.
Oh, yeah. It's Mania. It's always worth it. But it was a good time, for sure. It was long. 7-8 hours.
Crazy to think about a show being that long.
Well, you know, and I guess we'll talk about it, but when we get there, I guess we can talk about it right now. They're thinking about splitting it into 2 days. So,
are you serious?
Yep, Saturday's going to have its own separate thing, and it's going to have its own main event, like the Universal, and then the other one's going to have its own main event that's like WWE title.
That's not good for old people like us because it takes a lot longer to recover.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but at the same time, it might be better for us because then we get it's like almost 2 Manias.
It is.
And it was hard to stay pumped for 7 hours, you know?
It
so,
is.
We'll see, but they're playing with that. But before we get into that WWE stuff, I got a few things. We'll start it off with UFC, because I'm wearing my Notorious, supporting Conor, free Conor, even though he's not in jail. But yeah, so ESPN and Fox are combining for the UFC rights because right now it's just Fox.
Yeah, I saw that. There's 15 potential.
Yeah, so they're trying to bid it and sell it. It's going to sell. It's not like nobody's going to pick it up.
Yeah.
But right now they're mulling it. ESPN and Fox are either combining or they're going to compete, one of the two. It's probably, I would think, go to ESPN, but Fox has more money. But we'll see. I think that's pretty cool because that changes the landscape of UFC.
Yeah.
And then while we're still on UFC, CM Punk got a fight. I don't think we talked about it.
Nope.
At least not in detail. He's fighting, I believe his name is Mike Jackson. And he's, I think he's got a couple fights, wins under his belt. But he's already in WWE mode. He came out and photoshopped himself as John Cena and CM Punk in the ring together, and he was John Cena with his face, and he's like, I'm gonna cash in the Money in the Bank on you, and so he's getting in that WWE mode.
Yeah, he's coming back because he knows it.
Yeah, I definitely think he's coming back. I think he's running out of options. I mean, if he wins this fight, it's gonna take a little longer, but
it'll open doors for him. But if he loses,
oh yeah, it's not going to be good.
The only thing he's got left is WWE. No,
yeah.
I agree. I don't think he'll go. Do you think he'll go right to WWE, or think he'll go enjoy New Japan for a little bit?
Depends. If he lasts another year on the UFC circuit, and by that time Vince is gone. I think Triple H, even though they weren't fans of each other, I think Triple H is such a good businessman and is such a good with talent relations that he could overcome that and fix that.
Yeah.
So I think it depends. If it's like this September and that all-in, the Ring of Honor thing that the Bullet Club is doing, I think that's his best bet of seeing him. But he's going to end up in WWE again. There's too much money there.
Yep.
And all he would have to do, he could get the part-time schedule, he could do all that, and yeah, he'll be back. He would come back, and if he came back at the Rumble or even at Mania, it would sell so many tickets. It's just impossible to not bring him back. So
yeah.
He'll be back. But and then I guess the third UFC topic, there's not a lot going on, just normal wins, losses. But Conor McGregor versus Khabib, very Russian last name. Khabib just won the title. It wasn't a very eventful thing. It was a mess from UFC 223, and that was the same event where Conor got arrested for smashing the bus trying to get to Khabib. So they have drama between them. But the big question, yeah, I know, right? But the big question is Conor going to come back and fight because he doesn't have to? He's made hundreds of millions of dollars.
He made hundreds of millions just with that boxing match with Mayweather.
And he has other options in boxing. He could go fight a couple people for the same amount of money. Well, maybe not the same, but close.
Yeah.
So he has options. Not to mention, he's still going to get hit with some commission issues for what he did. Not to mention the legal fees. Not to mention, we don't know if Dana's going to actually keep him employed. So there's so many things up in the air. But right now, the only thing I think people want to see, other than maybe Khabib versus Kevin Lee, is Khabib versus Conor. And everyone's like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? WWE kind of inspired UFC and how Dana White runs things. They're going to make this fight happen because there's too much money there. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
It may not be this year, but it'll happen. So until then, Conor's just doing what Conor does and fucking everything up for UFC. So the big thing, because obviously NFL, there's nothing really going on.
Nope.
It's just rumors and hearsay, so we could talk about that all day. But I wanted to get into the NBA. That's the season we're in. Playoffs started this week. I couldn't be more elated. The Heat made it. I couldn't believe they made it. They actually made it to the 6th seed, which is amazing. So
they're playing the Thunder, right?
No, they're playing. No. That's they're in the East, so they're playing Philly, number 3.
That's right.
Yep,
they won last night too, didn't they?
Yes, and that's a good segue actually. A little throwaway to Neil because he loves that word. Wade moved himself into the 10th all-time position in scoring in the postseason, past Larry Bird, which is impressive. That's hella company.
Yeah,
that's no scrub. Probably one of the greatest Celtics of all time. But Wade turned the clock back last night. He looked like vintage Flash in 06. He was just drilling him. He was talking smack to Kevin Hart in the sideline.
Yeah, I saw that. It was amazing.
It was a great game to watch. It was something else. It literally was like he was like Father Time. No, I mean he's 36 years old. He's up there. He feels it. And he plays a very, very difficult position. Now, this is the man that Pat Riley didn't want to pay a couple years ago, and now he came back and just won them a playoff game. So, me as a Dwayne Wade fan, I love it. I can't speak enough to it.
I like Dwayne Wade. He's a good guy.
I mean, how can you not like him? He's like the perfect role model. You know what I mean? Like, he's never done anything. He's always been loyal. He's fantastic. He's kind of like a less successful version of Kobe, but he had that same level of loyalty and commitment. And things like that. So I was excited, obviously, as a Heat fan. It's so great to get a playoff win. It's been forever, it seems.
Has it been since LeBron left?
No, I think we made it a year after, or maybe 2 years after, but it wasn't. I think we got swept, if I'm not mistaken. But it wasn't anything pretty. It wasn't like last night where everyone in the sports world is talking about Wade beating Father Time. It won't last forever. Unfortunately, it all catches up.
Do you see him getting past the Sixers? Because if they do, that's huge.
No, and the reason why is because Embiid's been out. Joel Embiid, he was cleared, didn't play Game 2. No one knows why, because he was cleared.
Yeah.
But because he didn't play Game 1 and 2, and then they won 1, Philly did, and they lost at 2, and it took Wade being unbelievable. I just think Philly has too many tools. Ben Simmons is no joke. He's going to be an absolute... Oh, my God. He's going to be a talent. LeBron, as much as you hate him, LeBron's crowned him like this guy. He's legit. He has it. And he plays like with the chip on his shoulder. I like it. So I think Philly takes it. I don't think the Heat beat Philly. I mean, if they did, it would be a colossal upset for Philly. I'd feel bad.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Yeah, but I think when Embiid comes back, he's got some heat against Whiteside, the center of the Heat, and he could chew up Whiteside and spit him out. So, unfortunately, it's going to be Philly time. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Heat doesn't win another game. I just don't. But we'll see. They're going home. So that was exciting. That got me all up. Then you got Pelicans versus Portland over in the West. Pelicans took Game 1.
I think Portland's going to end up winning. I think it's going to go 7, but I think just...
It's tough because that game was really good, but Anthony Davis, he's
unstoppable.
If he would have stayed a little bit healthier, he would have been running for the MVP. I mean, he's so dominant, and he's just the way he plays. He's so versatile.
We haven't seen a big man like that since like Shaq.
Yeah, and even I would almost argue he's more talented than Shaq, only because Shaq couldn't hit threes.
No, Shaq couldn't really hit anything like. He could dunk,
and he was the most dominant. Yeah. Shaq's the most dominant center or player of all time.
Anthony can shoot. Yeah, Anthony can shoot the 3. Mm-hmm. He might not be amazing at it, but he can hit it, and he's not just in the paint slam it down your throat.
And he can hit his free throw.
Yes.
So you can't hack
you
a
can't
Davis.
hack a Shaq. Yeah, hack a Davis.
So I think that
the brow.
Yeah, that's good. But I think that series is really fun to watch. Damian Lillard is just disgusting. I could watch him play all day. So that's exciting. Bucks versus Boston.
Go Bucks.
Bucks 7 seed, Boston 2 seed. Boston won the game. It took everything they had. They barely won it. It was a great game.
Overtime.
Yep, but Boston doesn't have a superstar right now. They just don't. So in the end, the Bucks have the Greek Freak, and I always vote. You got a superstar, you're probably going to win the series. That's just my opinion. And then we got your pick, Raptors, number 1 seed versus the Wizards. Raptors took Game 1.
By 18.
They finally overcame the Beast. It took, I think it was 10 losses in a row or something crazy at Game 1 for the Raptors. Yeah. So they said that they treated it like a Game 7, they said. DeMar and Lowry. But that's fun, too, because John Wall can boogie, man. He's good. I love watching him play. Honestly, and I maybe this is just I'm excited for the playoffs. This is one of the funnest ones to watch this year for me, because every game I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. So going on from there, we'll save the best for last. But Houston versus Timberwolves, that's number 1 seed versus number 8 seed. It actually took a lot out of Houston to win. It took 44 points from Harden to win that game. Wow. And Harden can do it, and that's what he does, and that's why, and just another beautiful segue, Harden is MVP. That's from your boy Kobe. Kobe Bryant.
Well, that's who I picked a while ago. I don't like the guy, but I think he deserves it.
You can't argue his stats. I mean, and if Kobe's saying it, Kobe knows a thing or two about MVPs. I mean, it speaks volumes. I agree. Well, I kind of agree. I could argue for LeBron, but it's tricky. When you pour on 44 points, and they're playing the AC, but the Timberwolves are no pushover. They're a young team and talented and athletic. I would say more athletic than Houston. So that's pretty cool to watch. Houston's the team to see because everyone wants to see Houston versus Golden State. Moving on from that, Golden State's 2 up on the Spurs. Spurs don't have Kawhi Leonard. They don't have
Kawhi, and we don't know what's going on with Kawhi.
No, and that's he just ghosted. I guess he's having issues.
They say another shout out
his team.
Another shout out to our boys at First Take, Stephen A. They say that I was watching it today. Mm-hmm. That it could be, Max brought it up, that maybe he is hurt. Maybe he really is hurt, and it's not just something fake, and he just doesn't want to play, and his feelings are hurt. We don't know. He could still not feel 100% healthy. If you don't feel 100% healthy,
don't play. Your body is that's millions of dollars.
And that's what they're saying. Maybe, because everyone's sitting there saying, he's healthy. We don't know what's going on. Now they're causing the drama. Maybe he legit is not feeling 100%, and he doesn't want to do it. His mistake is he's not coming out and saying anything.
Yeah, but that's Kawhi's thing. Like, anyone who's followed Kawhi Leonard's career, he is a very, very soft-spoken, respectful, humble player. Someone who could be a cocky person. Because he's great. He's one of the best defensive players. They were
saying last year he probably like number 3 or like top 3 players in the league.
People were comparing him to like LeBron's stats, which is that's crazy because he's a stat-making machine. Yeah, and that's how good he is and was. I don't think it's a conspiracy that he doesn't want to play. I think that's just ESPN stirring shit up. I think that he's hurt, something's not right, and he knows that this is my bus ticket to get millions of dollars. I'm going to treat it right. Yeah. The Spurs, even with Kawhi, aren't going to the championship.
No.
So, and that's what kills me. Spur fans are lamenting their best player, which is idiotic because you're going to run him out of your and then your Spurs are going to just
he's
have
gone.
pop.
He ain't staying there.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think he's very disrespected, and I think
LA.
Yeah, honestly, and I guess that's a good segue too. Is everyone's rumor mill? It's all bullshit. We don't know what's true, but everyone's saying because Kawhi and LeBron have had a lot of discussions. LeBron's, we don't know where he's going. We don't know where Kawhi's going. We don't know where a lot of players might end up. Everyone keeps saying LeBron wants to go to the Lakers. He bought a house over there. They're young. You bring Kawhi in. You bring LeBron. You have Lonzo. You have I can't think of Kamir. Is it Kamir?
Are you talking about their rookie Kuzma?
Yeah, Kuzma. That's it. So you have all those pieces. I mean, that immediately goes to top 4, top 3 playoffs team. So it's everyone's saying like, oh, maybe Kawhi and LeBron are talking or something. I think he's hurt. And something's not right, and he can't go, and he knows that if he doesn't get it fixed, he's never going to be
Which is stupid that his teams are putting all this shit up on media. Even Popovich. Popovich is probably going to go down as one of the best coaches in the NBA, respectable, but he fucked up when the media asked him what's going on with Kawhi, and he said, you'll have to talk to him because he's healthy.
I agree.
Like, why are you putting that in the media? Go to your player. Talk to your player. Stop putting all this shit on social media because this is what happens.
I honestly, I couldn't agree more with you. I think it's really frustrating. I love Pop. He's one of my favorite coaches to watch, but I thought that was one of his biggest mistakes ever because that's your franchise player. And I don't care if you have to lie. I don't care if you have to, skirt around the question. I don't care. You protect that guy. Yep. And he kind of threw him under the bus, which I'm thinking, Popovich, why? I mean, if you don't make the playoffs, if you don't win the chip, nobody's going to take anything away from you. You beat one of the most overpowered teams ever, and you should have beat them twice, the Heat. I mean, you with old people like with Duncan and Tony Parker and shit. Popovich solidified himself, so I didn't like that move. I thought it was kind of classless. And he's still, like, I saw a video of him, like, running through the parking lot saying, "Go Warriors" and stuff. And I was like, all right, I get you're trying to be funny, but your team's getting blown out. You should be pissed. Yeah, you're going up against one of the greatest teams of all time. I have no problem saying that.
Yep.
But you should still have some balls and be like, no, we ain't going to.
Right? Don't go down with the ship. At least try and make a game of it.
Exactly. And, so we'll see. Hopefully he rights that ship. Moving on from there. Well, I guess we didn't talk. Golden State's up 2-0. They're killing it.
There's not much to say about Golden State.
And
they're going to be in the Western Finals.
They're 2-up against a really good team in the Spurs as far as coaching goes. And they don't have Steph. So when Steph comes back, good God. I just can't wait for Houston, Golden State. That's
going to be...
That's my finals, to be honest.
That's going to be a... Wow.
Yeah. That's 7 games for sure.
Oh, yeah.
With a million threes between the two.
And probably a couple overtimes.
Oh, yeah. And then moving on from there, Utah versus OKC. That's the 5. Utah versus 4, OKC. OKC took that first game.
I think OKC is going to win in 7.
I just think they have too much power.
They do.
Star power.
Don't get me wrong. Like, Mitchell, or they're...
well, Mitchell's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Mitchell. Yeah, he did get hurt. He got a
fractured ankle or something.
Yeah, so, I mean, not to take away from the Jazz. They're a good team, but I just think, like you said, OKC just has too much firepower.
Yeah.
And when you have a guy that's averaging a triple-double 2 years in a row, and then you got Paul George, who's just killing it.
Honestly, I feel bad for us because how have we not mentioned the fact that he's done that 2 years in a row? Westbrook.
Yep.
I'm not a huge Westbrook fan. I think he's like somehow a more of a ball hog version of Kobe with more athleticism.
He's the first player ever in NBA history to average a triple-double 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and listen, those stats are very padded. Triple-double, it looks great. It's not always a win. A lot of those aren't wins. But still, damn. The dude's talented, and I would kill to have him on any team.
Yep.
He just has some issues. But we're not... We can't... We would be remiss to talk about the actual MVP of the last game versus Utah. Paul George. The guy the Lakers may get... Nasty.
That's who I want.
He poured on 36 points. He hit 8 threes by the third quarter. Those are Steph numbers. Yep. This is a dude who he can hit threes, but he's not supposed to hit threes because he's almost like a LeBron-esque go in the paint, toss it up type deal.
Yep.
8 threes. I mean, Paul
I think
George
he's just had enough of, because when he was with the Pacers, they made it to the playoffs a couple times.
Yeah, and they challenged LeBron. They went to Game 7. They were no joke. Mm. I love it. I like Paul George. I mean, if I was a Lakers fan, I would beg for him to come because you put Paul George there, a veteran who's in the prime of his career, who can lead a team with you when you got Lonzo's and then Kuzma. You got that team. I'm telling you, I would want Paul George.
We'll see what Isaiah does though. Does he leave or does he stay?
I think he's going to go back to Celtics somehow.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I was really bummed to see him go out. He's got a lot of issues. I mean, we don't know if he's really going to be able to play again. Hip injuries are no joke.
Yeah,
they're not easy fixes.
They're basketball killers.
Yeah, they are, and it's just really hard. So I wouldn't be super surprised if I see him go to the Celtics as a 6-man or retire.
Retire as a Celtic at least.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it's frustrating because I'm an Isaiah fan.
So am I.
We'll see. But yeah, OKC, they got too much firepower. And then finally we'll end with Pacers-Cavs. Pacers number 5, Cavs number 4. Finally, someone broke LeBron's 21 games.
Woo! Thank you, Lance Stevenson.
Woo! Yes, because he did it. Stop it. Lance is such a little pest. I hate him. He should love LeBron so much because the only reason people know his name is
because he blew in LeBron's ear.
Yeah, and he's just such a little weasel. But hey, hats off to the Pacers, man. They brought it. The Cavs looked like shit. LeBron looked great. I mean, he's doing everything he can, but good God, no one's stepping up. J.R. Smith is MIA. Kevin Love
because he has to wear a shirt during the game.
Maybe you're right. I guess Stephen A. Another shout out. He was saying how you got to start JR. I agree. You got to do something. And then Tyronn Lue is like, oh, LeBron's got to be more aggressive. It's like, okay, he can be as aggressive as he wants, but if they lock him down, which unfortunately you kind of can now, what are you going to do? Someone's got to step up, and I don't think Kevin Love has it in him. So it's frustrating as someone who's a fan. on the side of like the Cavs, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like if you can't beat the Pacers, you deserve to be bounced. You deserve it. So I still think Cavs are going to take it. I guess we'll do a quick rundown. You said the Pacers are going to take it in 5.
Well, let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
You heard it here on Sticky and Steve's Sports Special.
Here we go.
The Indiana Pacers are gonna take out the Cavs in
5 games. That is the boldest of statements. LeBron doesn't get... No way. LeBron doesn't lose...
I may have been wrong about that Kansas pick,
Yes.
but I'm not gonna be wrong about this. Shut up, Tom.
So we'll...
Where's your bag of dicks?
Well, all right. So I say Cavs take it in 6.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Pelicans, Portland.
Portland in 7.
Portland in 7. I'm gonna say... I want to say Portland, but I just think Anthony Davis is going to pour it on. I think it's going to be Pelicans in 5.
Okay.
That's a bold one, but I think so. Bucks Boston. I think
Bucks are gonna win in 5.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. I think Boston got very, very lucky.
They just don't have if they had
Kyrie,
it'd be Boston.
even Hayward.
Yeah.
It's just one of them would have been great.
Yeah.
Wizards Raptors. Got to take Raptors.
I'm gonna take Raptors in 5 as well.
I'm gonna say Raptors in 6. Just because they have a bad history. I think they're gonna choke a little in a couple games. So I'm gonna say Raptors in 6. Philly and the Heat. I'm gonna say Philly 5. Yeah, it would have to be 5 now.
Yeah,
right?
it had to be 5.
Yep. So 5.
I'm gonna say Philly in 6.
In 6.
I'm gonna say the Heat win one more.
I would like that. There's no way I don't think it goes to 7 unless Philly just has a complete breakdown.
Unless Ben Simmons like blows his knee out.
Yeah,
or
which
something.
let's hope not. Because I love watching him play.
I'm
He's
just
great.
saying that's probably the only way we go. 7.
Utah OKC. I think OKC takes.
I'm gonna take sweep.
Yeah,
just because they're rookie now. That sensational Mitchell is out.
Yeah,
that was it.
And I think that you have that much star power. Even Carmelo could still score 20, 30.
Yeah.
You know. So I would say a sweep is pretty. It's a bold one, but I would take that.
Yep.
Golden State versus the Spurs. I think it's going to be a sweep.
It's going to be a sweep.
If not a sweep, it's a cop out. But if not a sweep, it'd definitely be 5. Obviously. But I just don't see that. Maybe Spurs steal one, but I just don't.
We talked about it. The whole Spurs team are just making a joke out of this series.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them are into this. I don't think they're sold. I think they're just there. They're in the playoffs, whatever. Their mindset is shot. They know they're not getting past Golden State.
Yeah, and honestly, I guess I get that. But, Golden State, I mean, it looked bad. I watched the game last night. I was up till fucking 1:30 in the morning watching it. And, Spurs winning. Fourth quarter hits, Thompson time. Clay goes off.
Yep.
And that's what's going to keep happening.
He
Thompson
got 16
goes off.
points
in a quarter. It's just, and that's what they do. Okay, not OKC. Golden State's MO is like, oh, you think you got us? Turn on the Jets, and they just go off. And I think that's what's going to take him when they face Houston. I don't think Houston has those Jets. Because you don't get those Jets just by having them. You earn them. You have to be down enough to where you can literally say in your brain, we are Golden State, let's go. And I think when Houston gets there and Houston has to turn on the Jets, I think they falter.
I think the only way Houston makes is, it's going to go 7.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. If it doesn't, it'd be a travesty.
I think a big reason why it goes 7 is because, believe it or not, James Harden gets more calls
than
LeBron James nowadays. There was a shot. I don't know if we could find it, where James Harden literally has his arm around the defender like this and shoves him, but then flops, and the ref called it on Harden.
Yep. No, I actually know exactly what you're talking. I've always, I appreciate Harden for how good he is. I cannot stand how he plays.
Yep.
I don't like.
He doesn't play defense. He just gets there and he gets all the fouls. So all he's got to do is just stand in the defenders or in the offensive player's way, and it's going to be a charge.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to watch Harden if you're rooting for the opposing, team. But but
puberty.
Yeah, thank you. Finally hit it. What was I going to say? But when Draymond Green matches up with Harden, because Draymond is the top 3 defender,
yep,
maybe even the best. Who knows? Draymond is going to annoy the shit out of Harden, And yes, Draymond will get 5 fouls probably every game and probably get booted every game.
He's going to get T.
But he's going to annoy Harden, and it's eventually I think that's what's going to...
This might be... Is this the first year in like 3 years where Green isn't on the verge of like one more T and he's suspended?
Yeah, this is best year so far.
I think even Durant might have more technical fouls than Green.
Yeah, Durant's got a little bit of a chippiness to it. I like it. But yeah, and then the last pick we got is Houston versus Timberwolves. I think Houston wins it in 5 or in 4.
Yeah,
sweep.
It's a sweep.
I think, but Timberwolves have the potential.
They're a young and upcoming team.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see the Timberwolves. I would love to see them go to at least 6. They're not beating Houston. There's no chance at all.
No way.
But yeah, that's basically all of the NBA news. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait. It's just gonna get better, and that's what I'm probably most excited for. This is. Other than obviously Golden State being elite and Houston being elite, it's still exciting to know that one of those two teams they're going to play each other at some point, and that we get that in the Western playoffs. That's not even the finale, so we can get a whole new finals, which is it's been for 3 years. So
we're going to have a new team representing the East. In the
I don't think Cavs. There's no
Raptors.
way. I just don't see the Raptors. They're not going to get it done. If they win the first series, which I think they will, I think the second series are going to. The more the pressure gets to them, the more they're likely to choke. And I just don't. I don't think they have it. I hope I'm wrong. It'd be cool to see the Raptors. I just don't. I don't know. It's something about being a Canadian team. I just don't. I don't.
Same hockey.
Yeah, I just don't see it, man. But I'm excited. Super excited, actually, as you can tell. So we got some games tonight. I'm pumped to watch. So. All right, so perfect.
26.
All right, so we'll jump right into WWE.
I see your big news.
Before we get into our Mania Fallout, I am heartbroken. Cena and Nikki Bella have split up after 6 years of very awkward signings and probably a lot of weird but good sex. They broke up.
Nikki, this show might make us famous. Call me.
Hey, Nikki. Hey.
Stephen A, hook that up.
That's right. I was honestly, and I guess I try not to get caught up in gossip. I don't really give a shit most of the time, but because it's WWE, I kind of care.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's 2 sides. Cena got cold feet.
Cold feet right before the wedding.
Yeah. The other one, it just came out today that Nikki felt. Apparently, Cena said something along the lines of, I'm just marrying you because you wanted it. And she was like, I don't want a pity proposal, and ended it. So
pity proposal in front of like 73,000 people.
Not to mention millions who watched it. Yeah, no, I thought Cena's a jackass. I'm going to go ahead and say it. You should have never done that. It was dumb. Yeah, I think it was clear from day one it was gimmicked. I think he was pressured into it, and it was destined to fail. If you don't believe in marriage, you can't make that happen. You just can't. It's like trying to teach an old dog a new trick. It doesn't work. And I think that Bella was so good looking and so sweet and so she's great. I mean, from what we see, she's marriage material in my opinion. Any other man on the planet. But when you're John Cena and you can have pretty much anyone in the world, I think it was a lot harder for him to actually commit. And I believe the side that he got cold feet personally, and I believe every side's right because I think it was a pity one and he got cold feet. So
it sucks. We'll see how many puns happen throughout the year about not being like Cena's going to be a fucking bullseye for these jokes.
Oh, and he kind of deserves it, man. He did it. The Miz is going to eat him alive.
Yeah. And then, like I told you, that feud. It's only a matter of time for a feud between Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And Cena happens now.
Yeah. So I definitely I feel bad for Nikki. I believe her side. But it sucks either way. I mean, 6 years, it's a long time.
It's a long time, and they were supposed to get married in 3 weeks or something like that?
May 5th. May 5th. So it was close.
Not even 3 weeks.
Yeah. It's I mean it's a bummer, but at the same time, good for Nikki for being like, you know what? I don't care for John Cena. I deserve better. She wants kids. He doesn't. There's a whole thing.
Big Cass is out there single.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, that bummed me out. I mean, it is what it is. So hopefully they move past that. I don't want to see the thing. Phenomenal producer. Anyway, So we'll move on to. Do you want to talk about WrestleMania Fallout first, or Greatest Royal Rumble?
Let's get the Greatest Royal, because I feel like the WrestleMania Fallout, there's gonna be a lot of conversation there.
So Raw was last night. There was a lot of trades. The Miz went to SmackDown, which is great. You get to see him versus Daniel Bryan.
That'll be. Did you see what Daniel tweeted?
How long have I been waiting to punch him
in the face?
Fantastic. Oh! Already got some roots there, so that's fantastic. They who did they bring over? I'm blanking.
To Raw?
Yeah.
It was Glorious.
Glorious, yes, Bobby Roode, of
really?
course. Which I'm excited. I hope they push him, but something tells me he's gonna.
He's got to go heel first.
Yes, he definitely
got to go heel.
He didn't have the best debut. It was very obvious that he didn't have the best debut. Unfortunately, just because I think it was.
Are you talking about on SmackDown or on Raw?
On Raw, he had a decent run on SmackDown. To be honest, he stayed in the middle card the entire time, which that's the goal. Yeah. He didn't get pushed down like Corbin did. But that's another person. Corbin went to Raw. Raw picked up a lot of like C-. Like they got the Breezango.
Well, they're gonna have to do that.
Ascension.
Like, I've told you with this draft, if they want SmackDown to stay above water,
they gotta stack.
They gotta stack. They gotta mix it. It can't like we talked before. I think Seth's going to go over to SmackDown. I think Balor's going to SmackDown.
I think Braun's going over.
They need big names on each show. I mean, obviously, Raw's got Roman. I don't think Roman's going in.
No, I think they made that clear.
Roman's staying on Raw. I don't know what they're doing with Roman, but Roman's staying on Raw, and you'll have the Roman Samoa Joe thing going.
At Backlash, which that's another thing that you missed. They announced it, but they combined all the pay-per-views now.
Yes, I knew that.
And they did like a little song for it and stuff. So that's a big thing because now Jeff Hardy won the title. They have a rematch at GRR, the Greatest Royal Rumble. So we don't know where people are going or where the belts are going and stuff like that.
Yeah, now the belts don't stay on. I think the only ones that really no, because the Universal has to stay on Raw.
Oh, it's red. I mean,
red.
The belt's red. That's not going. AJ though, they made it clear that any SmackDown superstar that was being traded, what it was going to be at Raw last night. So AJ's safe. Nakamura's safe. Everyone that wasn't on Raw is safe. So. AJ staying there. He's going to hold the ship.
Daniel,
Owens came over.
Yeah,
Zayn came over. Which I love that move. I thought they did everything they could in SmackDown. I mean,
the Riot
Squad.
Went over.
Yep. So I'm sure you're going to see. Well, no, they kept the other chicks at Raw. Absolution.
Yep, Absolution was on.
Which I'm sure there's going to be a third. Paige is now the GM.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Absolution goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, tonight. I wouldn't either because Paige is there.
Paige is there. Yes,
it would make the most sense. So, there's a lot of shakeup going on. But the Greatest Royal Rumble going on from that. They set it up last night. Roman's facing Brock. Obviously, he lost at Mania.
Now, you messaged me last night.
Yes.
What was that about? I meant to ask you about.
I rewatched the Brock versus Roman match from Mania, and I watched it
for the 8th time.
Yes, and I watched it. I watched it two ways. I watched it one with the sound on, and I let it go, and I followed the match, and I did all of that. And I was like, okay, all right. The crowd ruined it, in my opinion. They just butchered it. They just kept booing. They weren't going to accept that match from the moment it started. Period. They were not going to let it be a good match. But if you mute it and you just watch it for what it is, I'd say it's like a 3 out of 5-star match, which isn't great. It's not obviously Roman's best work, but considering he's working with Brock, not bad. I think that Roman kind of got put in a position after 7 hours of Mania time. He was never going to get cheered. And I think people were sick of Brock and they were sick of Roman, and that's how you get a shit show. So I'm not going to sit here and lament Roman and say he did anything wrong. I think he got an actual ass beating for that everyone in that crowd, and it wasn't enough. If you're not going to accept it, if you're not going to sit there and enjoy it, don't fucking bother watching it. That crowd ruined it, and I've heard that from so many podcast people. That match would have been an all-time, well, maybe not all-time great, but a great main event if they wouldn't have did what they did. But I'm telling you, if you rewatch it and you just mute it, you'll be like, okay, it's a pretty brutal, good match. But that crowd ruined it. I'm not going to sit here and say Roman's done. I previously was like, what are they doing? They're just going to have him keep getting eaten by Brock. But that's what's building to this Greatest Royal Rumble, which is almost ending up being as big as like a SummerSlam. It's got 8 or 9 title matches. It's going 5 hours. It's a big event. And it has possibly Brock's last match, and it's against Roman in a steel cage. I think Roman goes over. I think he gets that belt, and Samoa Joe challenges for him at Backlash, and we finally get Brock the fuck out of the picture.
That'd be amazing. I'm done with Brock.
That's my call. I think that Brock is done. I think he's done his part. I think he'll be back, but he won't be a champion. I think his time...
I don't think they should let him be a champion. If he wants to come in every now and then and bruise someone up, like Roman or something, like Braun did for his first year, just randomly show up and beat the holy hell out of him, that's fine. Don't give him a belt.
Mm-hmm.
Not with his scheduling.
From what I understand, from the reports on his contract are still up in the air, but from what I understand, everything that's leaked is that it's an open-ended contract, which means before Brock had dates, right? You have to have 30 dates, and we get to pick your dates, and that's it, right? Well, now it's you get to pick your dates, and you get as many picks as you want.
So Brock gets to pick.
Yeah, and he gets paid every time he goes. So it's like, all right, let's say he gets 75 grand for going to every Raw, and he gets 150 grand for every match. This is just obviously hearsay, but that's his deal. So if he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't have to be. So he's not going to have the belt because then he doesn't have certain dates.
Yeah.
He wanted that because they signed some sort of secret deal with Dana White where Brock is going to eventually fight Stipe Miocic or Daniel Cormier for the heavyweight title. That is happening no matter what. If people don't want to believe that, they're out of their mind. It is happening. Brock is already training. That's his plan. That's why I think that he drops at Greatest Royal Rumble. 6 months goes down. He gets back in the USADA pool. His band goes away. And bam, you're going to see that fight in 6-7 months.
Do you think that's why Brock's been disappearing for all his training?
I think Brock is training, and I think from what I read, he has a 1 or 2 fight deal where he can go and fight at any point in UFC, and Dana White can call that cash cow whenever he wants. So I think all parties kind of won. WWE gets Brock whenever Brock wants to be there. He doesn't have to have the belt anymore, and then you could have your superstar go and possibly win the belt and then be a double. That's cool. I mean, it helps both parties. But I definitely think all of this is building to Brock losing against Roman finally for the first time ever. And I think it's going to be in Saudi Arabia because for whatever reason over in Europe and the Middle East and stuff like that, they love Roman. They just do. So he's not going to get booed out of the building. He's going to be cheered. It's mostly North American crowds that hate Roman. And that's just because they're all marks that read the internet and say they should hate him. So I think Roman goes over at Greatest Royal Rumble. But that's my opinion. We'll see. I mean, if Roman loses at Greatest Royal Rumble, he has to have a heel turn or else he's just going to fall down the ladder.
I don't understand why they haven't made him a heel turn yet.
I don't yet. Maybe we'll see. Maybe that's going to be the heel turn. You know, who knows? Because Heyman also signed another contract. So he's there.
Yeah,
so,
but is only as long as Brock's around? Or?
No one knows. That's the thing. He's not going to say. So going on that, while we're on Greatest Royal Rumble, Rusev versus Taker's back on.
I saw that was back, but
it was there.
What's going on with Rusev?
I think that he's just pretending like it's all a storyline. Like, okay, they won't push me, so I'm going to pretend I'm going to leave. Everyone's like, no, don't leave. Everyone cares. Rusev gets what he wants. And he also gets more fans. It's genius if you think about it. It's almost like what CM Punk did, except in a smaller form. I'm going to leave. I'm done. Fuck this company, da-da-da-da. And then he doesn't, and then everyone's so happy he stayed.
But then he did.
Yeah, and then CM Punk actually did. But
dropped the biggest mic bomb ever in the world.
I think it's like a kind of a poor man's Punk. So I think it's genius, man. Rusev got himself over, and I think Vince hates it. Vince always hates that.
So Rusev stays on SmackDown then.
Yeah, and I think that's a good spot for him because I think he'll be elevated to the belt soon. I think the fact they gave him the match against Taker says a lot. There's only 5-6 matches maybe with Taker left in his career. I mean, to give it to Rusev would be an idiot not to take it. So, all right, so we'll get right into the WrestleMania fallout and then we'll kill it. All right, so WrestleMania was what 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. We never actually got to get into it.
Because we're old.
And it beat our ass to drink for 7 hours. So we'll start off with the first one. Balor versus Seth versus Miz. One of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen. It was great. Balor's amazing. Seth's amazing. Seth's entrance was so badass. The Night King thing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Very cool. Even Balor's thing with the Balor Club for Everyone. I thought that was a pretty cool thing that we live in 20 years ago, you had like The Rock and Stone Cold making gay jokes, and now you have, this everyone together LBGT thing. I thought that was great. Very cool to see. I thought it was a really bold move for Balor. I mean, good for him. I thought it was cool. We'll move on. Asuka versus Flair, possibly the best women's match I've ever seen.
Crazy. I just remember looking over at you
Jaw
when
drop.
that match was over. Like, I agree 100%. Like, you said it, you called it. If there's anyone that will beat her streak, there's no one better than a Flair.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be. It made sense. We couldn't go a whole nother year with Asuka.
Yeah, I like that she lost. It needed to happen. It's over with. Now we can stop talking about it. We can move on. And I think Asuka's happy about it.
Yeah, because you can get into the character now.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just this undefeated badass. I think that's a lot of stress and pressure. So I thought it was great. I think it was literally one of the greatest matches, female-wise, that I've ever seen.
It was a great match.
And I think there's a really solid chance, and this will just segue right into the Rousey match, which was amazing. Rousey's a superstar. I think Asuka versus Flair and Rousey's match did everything it needed to do for next year's Mania to be main evented. It's going to be Flair versus Rousey.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially because Flair stayed on SmackDown. They're going to keep them apart for an entire year. And then next year, main event in New Jersey, you're going to see Flair versus Rousey for the title.
Yeah.
And,
that's happening, and that's going to be amazing. And do you think Ronda wins it?
I think Flair. I think they're gonna keep building that Flair legacy.
Hopefully,
you have to.
Hopefully, Ronda won't be undefeated. Hopefully,
she won't.
They don't pull on Asuka.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Rousey would want that personally.
I just want to see Ronda fight now and not a pay-per-view. I want to see her on a Raw or SmackDown.
Well, she just signed European dates, so she's actually going to start wrestling consistently. So she's not just
I don't want to just see her come out and like throw the Authority through a table.
Yeah.
I want to see fighting.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we're going to get that. And Rousey said she wants to be one of the girls. She wants to be a part of it. So that's super cool. Without giving them enough credit, Kurt, Triple H, Steph, and Rousey, they murdered it.
They did a great show.
Murdered it.
I thought it was going to be Triple H and Kurt carrying the match, but it was pretty even.
Steph did great.
Yes.
Steph, for an almost 40-year-old woman who doesn't really
She doesn't wrestle. She hasn't wrestled in like 20 years.
She still looked phenomenal. She took the bumps. She took an ass beating. Triple H took an ass beating. They all did their part. And obviously they rehearsed the shit out of it, but we went into it going, Rousey's going to botch it, and Rousey killed it. Killed it.
I was afraid. I honestly was afraid it was going to be really horrible, but some of the shit she was doing, like, you could tell she'd been practicing, and she still does it. Like, I watched a clip with her and, what's-her-face on Monday night. I can't think of her name right now.
Sonya?
Yeah.
Sonya
like,
Deville?
the shit she did at that. Like, the flips and, like, she's so, like...
athletic.
Yeah.
And truthfully, she always had the athleticism. It was just, could she put it all together?
Yeah,
and she can.
She can.
And she had great psychology, and she had good everything. So, Rousey's a superstar, man. I'm excited. She'll just get better. And that's what's great. I thought that was a perfect match for her. Okay, so that was such a great match. Let's talk about the worst match I've ever seen. Braun and Nicholas versus The Bar. I have never seen a company shit on tag team wrestling more in my life. I can't even... I hated Braun for this, and I'm a huge Braun fan now, but Braun should have sat there and said, this is an insult to the company. Because you had The Bar, who literally beat every single team.
Couldn't beat one man and a 10-year-old.
And a 10-year-old. It was just asinine. I thought it was a joke.
If you didn't think that The Bar was not splitting up after Mania, last night should give you any indication that they're done. Because I'm not saying Breezango is a bad team, but compared to The Bar, they lose to Breezango, it's done.
I think there's a reason, though. I don't think they're done. I think The Bar's going to SmackDown tonight. And so that was their final rub to Breezango, and then they're going to go, and no one's going to remember that because he'll be on, and everyone's excited to see Usos in The Bar and all that shit. So I think they go to the SmackDown for sure. There's no reason they have to stay on. They literally beat everyone in Raw. But that whole shtick they did with Braun, complete joke. Complete joke. Just have Braun do it by himself. If you're going to shit on a team, at least give the rub to the big guy.
I was disappointed because they built it up for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, who's Braun's partner, and everyone thought it was... Batista, Dean Ambrose,
Samoa Joe,
Rey Mysterio. Nope, 10-year-old Nicholas from the crowd,
who no one gives a shit about. and that's another thing. There's two reasons I hated this match. One, it made me insulted as a wrestling fan because, yeah, I know it's all gimmicked, it's all fake. That's not the point. It's a soap opera. Soap operas wouldn't even do that. You're telling me 2 30-plus-year-old grown men can't beat one guy, and it's just dumb. So I didn't like having to suspend my belief that much. And 2, I think it shot Roman's match even more in the foot. Because you have this big moment. Everyone's waiting to hear Dean's music or some shit. They get Nicholas. So that took the air right out of the arena. And then they have this really, if you watch the match, Braun did a horrible job. It's not his fault. The match sucked. Period. And then you have Roman Brock, who Roman was going to get booed no matter what. And then Brock, everyone's pissed at him because he's lazy.
Yeah.
So I think it contributed to making Roman look horrible. And I took that. I didn't like that.
Real quick for you, the next one. It was a quick segue. Speaking of Dean, does he get drafted? Does he return drafted to SmackDown?
I don't think so.
No?
Because I think that Roman wins the title, he beats Samoa Joe, and then Dean comes back and feuds with him.
That'd be a cool feud.
I think that's got to happen. I mean, if you send Dean to SmackDown again, who's he going to feud with? He feuded with AJ.
He lost the belt to AJ.
Yeah, he feuded with Seth. He feuded with all of them. So I don't think it'd be a good pick. I mean, it'd be a good surprise, I guess. But
be a good pop.
I don't think it's needed. I think Dean.
Surprising, Adam Cole drafted to SmackDown with the title. No, that would be a pop.
It would be cool, but
it's not gonna happen.
I also would be bummed because he's Raw already. But I guess we'll finish. We talked a little bit of Brock versus. Well, no, we'll do AJ versus Nakamura first. I thought their match couldn't live up to the hype. It was good, but it wasn't.
It wasn't as good as I was hoping.
No, it couldn't be. I don't think it could be. I think they worked a slow style. I think that it was more Nakamura style.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that Nakamura didn't win. I think it says a lot that Vince doesn't want to have an Asian champion for whatever
reason. I don't think...
Like, he just doesn't. Like, isn't it weird that both Royal Rumble winners were Asian and both lost?
I don't think Nakamura's going to make a great heel.
I will dispute that. Did you see the clip last week of his first heel SmackDown?
Yeah, when he jumped in the ring versus Daniel Bryan and he attacked AJ again.
No, but there was a segment before that where Renee's interviewing him, and it's like, why did you do what you did? And he, poured on his accent, and he's like, I don't speak into English, and then walked away, and it was great, because now he's not a good talker. He's not the best, obviously, speaking English, but he can play on that. I think it's a lot easier for a heel to be a non-English speaking heel than it is to be an English-speaking babyface.
Yeah,
you just beat ass, and that's what he did. He kicked the shit out of Daniel Bryan. He kicked the shit out of AJ.
Don't get me wrong. I love when he's beating the shit out of AJ.
Oh,
I love it.
It was a good match. It's just I think they hyped it too much, and you just
I mean, it was. That was my match of the night. I was waiting for that match.
They should have put it at the first half of it too. They shouldn't have saved it towards the end because by that point the crowd's so drained and we've been going 5-6 hours and. It's tough. That's why, going off of what we started with, I think it'd be smart if they split it in two. I think it would work. I think it would do a lot better. But last thing, Brock versus Roman. We talked about it a little bit. As you heard me say 1,000 times, I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
I think you're a little off on that 1,000. A little more.
It didn't make sense.
You didn't see the tattoo you got? It says I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't. There were a lot of things about it. Brock supposedly went into business with himself. Brock actually hard weighed him on his own, which means...
Yeah, for those people that were watching and think wrestling's fake, all that blood, that was real.
Yeah, he had a gash. It was 10 sutures.
And
14,
it was like 14 staples? Yeah, it was all real blood. That was not fake.
So, it was a slugfest. But it does concern me that Vince changed the call, because Vince changed the call moments before they went out, and I think he just knew that the crowd was going to hate it.
Well, look what happened. He doesn't want to look at what happened. Goldberg's last match in WWE. It was versus Brock. Was it Brock?
Yeah, and
the crowd was chanting, "You guys suck!" Like,
they got "This is awful" in the Brock Roman match. I mean, I will say this to the end, and I don't care if people have a problem with it, but that was a horrible crowd, and they should be ashamed of themselves because they didn't let themselves enjoy the match. And yeah, they paid the money; they can do whatever they want. But you ruined a perfectly good match just because you didn't like the fact that it was happening. Like, it just didn't make sense.
It's okay. But next year when we're there, we'll get the chance going. This is awesome.
I honestly, next year, I really pray to God Roman doesn't main event, because main eventing after a 7 or 6 hour event, fuck that. Give me one person that can successfully do that. None of them. I don't care who it is. Unless you have CM Punk in his return match as the finale, you are not getting a pop. He's just not.
Yeah.
So I hope Roman doesn't main event because it's a horrible spot for him.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, if you turn him heel, main event him. But in his position he is in now, if you guys don't think he needs like a reboot or something, you're crazy. It's time to turn him heel, or it's time. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of is turn him heel.
He's got to go heel.
He has to. There's no other
The
options.
crowd is not going to accept him as a babyface with the title, regardless. I agree. I think he'll win it. If he doesn't win it, we're not talking for a couple days. I'm going to let you calm down.
Mm-hmm.
But if he doesn't win it, he's got to go heel. If he wins it, he's still going to get booed. He won't get booed there, but the first Raw back in the States, it's going to be the same it was when he won it the first time.
But I think Vince is so obsessed with that first reaction being perfect that he doesn't care afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't care if Raw boos him because it's only 20,000 people. But I think he did care when it was going to be 80,000 people. Not just booing him, but, like, cursing him out. Like, Tommaso Ciampa heat. Like,
I guess we'll just see what happens next year when Vince leaves and Triple H takes the reins.
I know, we'll see. I mean, I think... I'm hoping there's some change in the air.
There will be.
With Roman, I mean, like, I specifically want to see, as a Roman fan, it's time for some change. Just make him heel. He already has that swagger.
Oh,
every Samoan in his bloodline has been heel, save for The Rock.
The Rock was horrible as heel, though.
I love The Rock as a heel, but he was never actually a heel.
No, he just walked around with a guitar. He was like Elias, and he just sang a lot of stupid songs.
He was the first Elias. But I just, you have a Samoan dynasty full of heels. Make him fucking heel. Like, stop trying to push it. Cena was a heel. Like, people forget that, but Cena was a heel. He went around, like, assaulting women and making
with his
bad
giant
raps.
ass chain necklace.
Like, he was a piece of shit. And like, no, he's great. No, he wasn't. He was a piece of shit. So yeah, if you don't change Roman into something, you're just gonna have.
You're gonna lose him.
Yeah, you're gonna have a really good wrestler who has no direction. That's what you're gonna have. So hopefully it spurs change. But overall, I want to know, what was your rating of WrestleMania? Like 1 out of 10, or top 5, either or.
1 out of 10. I think I give it a 7. 8, maybe.
I'd say I'm going to put it in 2. I'm going to give it 2. I'm going to take the cop out. The first half, I would give like 8 or 9 out of 10. The second half, I'd give like 4 out of 10. Because it just lost so much momentum at the end.
I don't think you'll see a 7-hour show again.
No, I think if they do, they're crazy. I mean, we want to go next year. That's a lot of fucking time.
That's a lot of alcohol.
It's a lot of alcohol. It's a lot. You're with a bunch of people. I mean, you basically move in for 8 hours next to whoever's sitting next to you.
One of us is going to jail.
Oh, for sure. Especially you're in
Jersey.
In Jersey. But yeah, I hope they break it up into 2 events. It's just smart. I think it's good business. So
what just happened?
We'll see. I'm guessing it's Neil being weird. Okay.
Whatever.
Anyway.
It's just our ghost. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
But yeah, we'll see what they do next year. I hope they split it, personally. That's what I want to see, is they split it into 2 different shows, but we'll see. I thought it was pretty good, though.
It was a good show, but
I wasn't disappointed. I was just, some of the booking calls I wasn't a fan of, but
yeah.
That's Vince. You're not going to make everyone happy.
Nope.
So it wasn't bad, though. I'm excited to see where it goes as far as storyline goes. All right. So that's the gist of it. Look at these. All right. So we're actually going to kick into our next show. So do you have anything else?
No.
Yeah, I have nothing on NFL. I tried. But
no, there's nothing. We got nothing going right now.
No. All right. So we will end 7 minutes short. So
that's not bad.
No, not bad at all. So yeah, I'll be posting this tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll get into editing and whatnot. So yeah, and we go live next week once I figure out how to fuck to make it live. Once I get there.
Fuck to make it live.
Yeah, how the fuck to get it live. Yeah, that's probably what's gonna get us banned.
NFL stands for? Not fucking live.
Oh my god.
Neil's here.
Neil is here.
Just YouTube it.
Just YouTube it. Yep, so I can get banned off YouTubing stuff. Alright, so we're going to kick off. Do you have nothing else?
I'm good.
We're good.
See you next week.
Alright, brother. Yeah, we'll be back. And I'll actually probably be wearing my wrestling gear. Alright, brother. See you.